I think the new learning standards have changed my practices in that it's not about the content, it's about the skill, but you're using the content to teach the skill, and not so much do the students know who the presidents are, what wars happened when.
It's kind of moved from, just teaching the textbook or what does the teacher know to different sources, different ways of approaching the truth.
And so we're really taking problems that they can see in everyday life and applying that math content. I think content retention is a lot higher.
And so we really collaborate a lot as far as deciding, which standards to use and how to implement them.
We spend a considerable amount of time looking through our curriculum. And I think that's where a lot of the important work is agreeing professionally amongst adults what is the most important things for students to learn, getting consistency there, and then breaking those standards down to bite-sized objectives that you can easily measure.
We focused in on fewer skills, not fewer things learned, but rather really zeroed in on those skills. And in the process of isolating things, I think it definitely produced results. So we were able to really hone in on where the areas of deficiency were for the students.
We're getting students, come in the door, freshmen, they're really kind of struggling with the program at first because they're not used to it. And it's harder. I mean, it's harder, it's higher level thinking, but it's just that, we have to offer more supports, taking time in class to kind of split the class and work on particular areas that need to be worked on in certain populations of students.
Teachers and educators love to create activities for kids, but sometimes they're not necessarily aligned to the standards. So we want to be very intentional about making sure that what we assess was actually what we wanted students to learn.
Without assessments, you can't move forward. How do I know that the students have gotten it? I can't just assume that when the student nods their head at me in class that they've got it. I've got to see it. I've got to see it from individual students. And so whether that's, again, a 4-question multiple choice, whether that's a fast write, whether it's a close reading, anything like that that's going to individually show me that they got it. You have to do that, and that's daily. Those are those daily assessments.
So every day we expect teachers to have a daily standards-based objective that clearly communicates to students what they should learn. And then we ask teachers to ensure every day that they have a daily formative assessment that's linked to their standards-based objective so they can know in terms of real data how many of the students in the classroom actually met that objective. And then every day we ask teachers to respond to it. And so kids who don't get it, they get more support with the teacher. And then students who do get it, they accelerate. So they'll give more challenging work.
You have to make sure that what am I doing in my classroom? How do I know that my student has learned that skill? So I think it's forced me to make sure I'm always asking that question. So it also forces me to take more notice in the types of materials that I'm giving, so to really increase the nonfiction component.
And so I think testing gets a bad rap when you don't do anything with it. When you just do it and teachers don't get it in a timely manner and then they don't respond to it. We actually respond to them very quickly, the same day as the expectation. We've tried to develop a culture where responding to where students are is the norm. And that's been very uncomfortable for everyone because you can't just keep teaching the way that you've done it before. You actually have to stop and say, did these kids learn? And if they didn't learn, then what do I do? And if they did, then what do I do?
We did quite a bit of professional development over the summer that really influenced our teaching throughout the school year. And our students couldn't be successful if we hadn't done it.
My principal made it so that we had this wonderful, we've got the MACs that have the Mastery Connect. It's a very data-driven program that will allow us to get immediate results as well as pinpoint which skills are being assessed. And so we can find those areas of deficiency and then incorporate the acceleration and intervention in a class pretty immediately.
Last year we had the highest ACT average in the history of this school. And we had the highest growth on ACT in the whole city of Chicago. Attendance rate went up. We cut our dropout rate in half. And I can tell you it's been very challenging, but I have so much respect for the adults in this building who've been teaching for a variety of lengths of time, but have started to make the commitment to put students first.
I attend weekly leadership team meetings as the department chair, and that is what's stressed daily. What are we doing for the student? Because that's why I'm here. I'm here for the student, not for me and my geeky love of history, but for them learning these skills that they can leave my room and still apply anywhere else.